Welcome back to this special extended edition of Today, live across Australia.
We are now under 15 minutes away from splashdown. And author Matt Agnew here in studio and research scientist Dr. Matt Shaw in Melbourne. Thank you both for joining us. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
Matt Agnew, take us inside the Orion capsule right now. What would be happening?
There would be a bit of, some nervousness always. This is probably the most intense portion of the entire flight. Launch and splashdown is where things, if there are complications, that's where it's going to happen. In between is sort of a bit more routine. So there'd be a little bit of kind of, apprehension around that. But they're also, this is what they're trained for. The high pressure, high stakes stuff. So there's a lot going on, but they will be remaining calm. They will be managing that apprehension and that expectation, and they'll be preparing for what is the last part of a really impressive journey.
It's been so impressive, and it's captivated Australia, it's captivated the world, but this is the real pinch point of the entire journey, isn't it? We've just heard, going to you, Dr. Matt Shaw, now from Matt Agnew here in the studio, about the nervousness, the feelings. What do you think the astronauts are going through right now mentally, knowing they're so close to re-entering the Earth's atmosphere?
Oh, to be a complete mixed bag, to be honest. Obviously, they've had an absolutely amazing experience over the last few days, which has been really cool to watch. They have also been cooped up in a small area with 4 of their friends, so they'll probably be looking forward to getting out of that. But as Matt said, it's a pretty wild ride this last few minutes. They're de-accelerating quite a lot over the next 13 minutes until splashdown, so it's going to be a pretty intense experience.
And we are just getting word now that they have entered Earth's atmosphere, so we are getting to the pointy end of this. This is incredibly exciting. I've been thinking about some of the highlights of these magical 10 days. We've seen some really touching moments during the trip, including this one that I loved.
And especially meaningful for this crew is a number of years ago we started this journey in our close-knit astronaut family, and we lost a loved one. And there's a feature in a really neat place on the moon, and it is on the near side, far side boundary. In fact, it's just on the near side of that boundary, and so at certain times of the moon's transit around Earth, we will be able to see this from Earth. And so we lost a loved one. Her name was Carol, the spouse of Reed, the mother of Katie and Ellie. And if you want to find this one, you look at Glushko, and it's just to the northwest of that, at the same latitude as Ohm, and it's a bright spot on the moon. And we would like to call it Carol, and you spell that C-A-R-R-O-L-L.
Not a dry eye in the house with that one, right, Matt?
Absolutely. It's a touching tribute, and it kind of reminds that these things are really impressive examples of science and technology and engineering, but there's the human element always at the core of it. And the brilliant scientists, the brilliant engineers, the brilliant astronauts, all of us watching, there is that human element, and I think that's what things like this really galvanise and bring us all together to remind us of that. And so this was a really touching tribute to a really important person to the astronauts, and just continues to highlight that.
Carol Wiseman, she was a NICU nurse, a newborn ICU nurse. She died of cancer in 2020 at the age of 46, and she's the wife of Reed Wiseman, who is the commander. Their 2 daughters will be watching on at Mission Control today for this incredibly special moment.
Yeah, what a proud moment for that family. Proud moment for the loved ones of all the astronauts on board. And we're seeing live pictures now, people waiting to watch the splashdown, the control centre there. We know already this has been an historic journey. Dr. Matt, we've gone, the human race through this journey has gone further into space than any human has ever gone before. We're still yet to see the completion of it, but what could this potentially mean for science, for, journeying into space in the future?
So this is a really exciting time. NASA recently announced a new $20 billion program to establish a moon base. So this is kind of the first step in that journey. They've also said that they want to land people on the moon in 2 years. Artemis 4 and 5 set for 2028, which is a very ambitious launch schedule. We'll see how they go with that. But this is the first step on that journey, and it's been a really exciting thing to see happen, and they've just absolutely nailed every aspect of it.
All right, I want to bring in 9 US correspondent Reed Butler, who is very excited on that coastline in San Diego. Reed, we understand that the astronauts are about to come out of the blackout.
Yeah, this blackout period, 6 minutes of just high anxiety, right? There's plasma build-up around the space capsule because it is just so hot, and that blocks communication. So any moment now we're expecting to hear from the capsule. But look at everybody waiting and watching here on the cliff face in San Diego, California. Everybody is streaming that NASA live feed on their phones. We are all waiting for the all good. And then shortly after that, the guys will be splashing down just there in the Pacific, right? So some parachutes will deploy. It'll slow their descent to about 30 kilometers an hour and then splash into the Pacific, and then they'll be picked up by US Navy forces here. So we are 5.5 minutes away from splashdown. Just heard there in my ear, so this is good. Any moment, we just want to hear from the crew on board to make sure all is okay, because it all has to do with this heat shield. That is all that was protecting them in this insane heat, twice as hot as the hottest lava. That is what they're dealing. We have just heard from the crew. So that is a really good sign.
News.
That means
Excellent
the
sign.
worst of this is over. That is amazing. And that means very soon they will be home, guys. They will be splashing down. So this is exciting. Cannot wait. Yes, it works.
We don't have to wait much longer. The splashdown moment's away. We're going to join the live NASA feed now.
The camera controller fail is no Cab 1 views of the chutes.
Integrity.
We're processing good data through the GPS system. A good view of integrity, time to splash down 4.5 minutes. And a view of integrity from the WB-57. We're at 50,000 feet. The pyros are armed for forward bay cover jettison. And there go the first series of parachutes, and we're on drogues.
And Houston, we're visual 2 drogues out the window.
2 good drogue chutes. Next up,
We copy, we see them.
Next up, the deployment of pilot parachutes that will pull the main chutes out. Time to splash down 3 minutes and 10 seconds. Perfect descent rate according to flight dynamics.
Good rates on 2 drogues.
We see the same on board.
Passing through 10,000 feet, still on drogues. Main chute deploy. We're at 5,000 feet. Search and recovery beacon has been activated on integrity. And we have 3 good main chutes. Good 3 main chutes, good reefing, good descent rate.
Good rates, and we see 3 good-looking parachutes. Integrity. Cabin pressure indicates no need for hydrazine checks.
Integrity copies.
This is a perfect descent for integrity. Its crew sounding hale and hearty on board. Time to splashdown 1 minute, 15 seconds. Integrity about to complete a journey spanning 694,481 miles from its launch from the Kennedy Space Center back on April 1st, and a trip around the moon. Passing through 1,000 feet.
Houston Integrity, splashdown, sending post-landing command now.
Splashdown confirmed.
Copy splashdown, waiting on VLDR.
Splashdown confirmed at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time. From the pages of Jules Verne to a modern-day mission to the moon, a new chapter of the exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts back on Earth.
And there they are, the farthest flying humans in history after 10 days in space. And wasn't that a spectacular and flawless
And the landing
ending?
and support officer reports the vehicle is stable 1. We still will be deploying the crew module uprighting system to maintain that orientation. A perfect bullseye splashdown for Integrity and its 4 astronauts.
And there they are, the farthest flying humans in history after 10 days in space. Extraordinary pictures. What a remarkable moment. Matt Agnew, you were saying this was so precise.
Yeah, the precision is just mind-blowing. The fact that they can predict and plan these trajectories days in advance, hundreds of thousands of kilometres, they get it to the moon, they sling it back, it lands, you know, within minutes, hours of what they kind of planned in terms of the mission planning and projections. So it's just incredible precision. Everything deployed as designed, as engineered. Even the landing, there's a chance that the pod could land upside down and they need to use the orienteering balloons to ride them up. It landed the right way up. They're still going to deploy them anyway just to ensure that stays that way. But it's just mind-blowing precision that they can do these things and do it so well and do it safely. Chills.
What happens now? We've seen the successful splashdown. What are the next 10, 15, 30 minutes like?
I mean, it's going to obviously get out to the crew as soon as possible, get them out, and then they'll be going through the usual sort of, you know, physiological and psychological steps to make sure everything's well as far as the crew's concerned. And then there'll be usually a enormous amount of telemetry data and trajectory data that they'll go through and sift through and make sure everything did actually go exactly as planned. One of the things with a mission like this, where we're reaching humans in orbit around the moon, not landing, is it's that data acquisition. It's continuing to refine the process. When we do, hopefully by 2028, get humans back on the moon, how do we ensure that trajectory, that mission goes exactly as precisely planned as this one does as well, and data is what guides us there.
And I feel like there hasn't been a dry eye here in studio. It is such an incredibly emotional moment here in studio, here for you at home as well. If you've just tuned in, you're watching 9 and we're watching a really special moment, a successful splashdown, the end of the Artemis II mission, those speedboats that you were seeing on your screen heading out into the Pacific Ocean to get those astronauts to safety and run those medical checks. In our special coverage right now, we've got astrophysicist and author Matt Agnew here in studio with us, and research scientist Dr. Matt Shaw as well. Matt Shaw, I want to go to you. Just talk us through the emotions of this moment. What did you make of it?
Oh, absolutely amazing time. Obviously, the moment that those primary chutes deploy, the astronauts are feeling a massive wave of relief because you're just kind of getting rattled around during re-entry there. We had amazing footage actually from NASA of the high velocity entry there and the parachute deployment. So as soon as that happened, you can tell the astronauts were just so relieved. And now, of course, they've got a little bit of a sitting time. So the boat crews won't go straight to them because there's some safety considerations. They'll make sure that they've got some time, there's no debris falling on top of them. But they're safe now, they're home, so they can be kind of out of their hands. They'll get picked up, they get to go home. It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, it's an incredible moment in the history of mankind. We've got US correspondent Reid Butler on the ground in San Diego. Reid, what an incredible moment in history. One of those that you will remember forever where you were when this happened.
That was amazing, guys. The atmosphere here, all of these people, there are hundreds of people here on the cliffs in San Diego just looking up to the sky. And when they were streaming the NASA video there that you were watching at home as well, you should have heard the cheer go up when splashdown happened. It was just amazing to think that just out there, right out there, it's a little too far to see with the human eye, but out there, that is where the rescue boats are on their way now to pick up the capsule, get those guys, those incredible 4 history-making astronauts to another location, a Navy vessel for those medical checks. Imagine what their legs must be like. Guys, I'll just go around and speak to some of the people we have here. What did you think about that, watching on the live stream? How exciting to see them back on Earth.
That was such a great, accomplishment that they did, you know? Yeah, I really enjoyed hearing the live stream for sure. It was my first time seeing anything like that.
Amazing. And to be here with all these other people and hear the cheering and stuff, that was pretty cool.
Seeing everything live in person, it was nice.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah,
good on you. It is just this amazing feeling. Look down there. There are literally probably, I don't know, close to 1,000 people just that we can see stretching all the way along this magnificent coastline in San Diego, wanting to get a glimpse of history and just be part of it. It is just so exciting, guys, and that it was a perfect bullseye splashdown from Mission Control. That is the best feeling of all, and I cannot wait to hear from these astronauts about how it was, and they've got so many more amazing materials to share with the public as well, not just the amazing photos they already have released, but so much more, and we get to see it all. It is so exciting, and guess what? Then they're going to go back and land on the thing. So this is really, really cool. And the fact that this was perfect, that is the best thing of all.
Reid, it's incredible that we have the technology to be able to watch a live stream, but as you've just pointed out, thousands of people right there on the coast trying to catch a real live glimpse of it actually happening. And even though it's a long way out into the ocean, were you able to see anything? And did the sonic boom you told us about throughout the morning, that incredible, I don't know, audible moment, did that happen?
No, it hasn't happened yet, annoyingly. It could still happen. I don't know how quickly it moves. I was kind of bracing myself. But I wanted to show you this. I mentioned a wedding earlier. Yes. There is a literal wedding happening right now here on the cliff, and she started walking down the aisle as splashdown was about 5 minutes away. And it was just this scene. It was really romantic and kind of stressful at the same time. But have a look at this. They're saying their vows. Absolutely gorgeous.
I'm a little
disappointed
fair to say
there is a lot going on now,
someone
guys.
in an astronaut uniform or something.
There was space-themed music. I tell you what would be really bad if the sonic boom happened right now. that could be a little bit stressful for those guys. But yeah, it's just such an incredible vibe here, and we're going to just follow every step. It is so cool. So yes, sadly, no sonic boom. We did see though some Navy vessels passing earlier, and I know the boats are still making their way to the bobbing capsule right now in the Pacific there. So we have seen them making their way. It's kind of out that way, as far as I understand, and there's still a lot more to come here. They've got to take them back to the ship and do those medical checks.
It's all happening out there in that sparkling blue Pacific Ocean. Reid Butler, that was awesome. Thank you so much. As Reid mentioned, Matt, the precision on this, down to the minute, everything was flawless about this mission. From takeoff, every moment captured was 10 out of 10, and then they've had the most perfect splashdown. What would NASA be gleaning from what has unfolded over the last 10 days?
certainly just learning that the planning all went exactly as they wanted it to go. Like I said, the data acquisition is really critical for missions like this, because we are going to continue to complicate missions further. Obviously, getting humans to the moon is one thing, putting humans on the moon is another thing entirely. So there's a huge amount of learning and data that can be gleaned from this. But even things, the planning was so good that things like adjusting trajectories of the Orion capsule as it was heading to the moon, there was 3 planned by the European Space Agency. They only needed to use 1, which means they actually nailed the projections even better than what they had planned for with these redundancies in place. So for NASA, what they will be doing is going through with a fine-tooth comb, taking all the learnings they can find. There will be things that didn't quite go according to plan and things that may not have worked correctly. Like with Artemis I, there was issues with the heat shield, so they learnt from that and implemented them in Artemis II. So again, it's just continually to refine the process and make sure that when we do send humans to the moon to put boots on the ground, that it goes as superbly successful as this went, that they get there and back safely and in such precise and immaculate form.
And if NASA are as flawless as they have been with this, we're only a couple of years away from that happening.
Absolutely, yeah.
And isn't it incredible to see that shot there of the Integrity capsule bobbing in the Pacific Ocean just off the coast of San Diego, the west coast of America? A remarkable story, a remarkable day.
It is a remarkable day, and as we said, it's a day you will remember where you were when you were watching today and watching this incredible mission, Artemis II, coming to a successful completion, as we see there.